Bissell has just come out with a brand new carpet and upholstery cleaner, and that is right here. This is the Bissell Little Green Hydrosteam. And I'm sure you guys guessed with that name, this thing is a steamer, steam extraction. Now, not a lot of companies offer anything like this. There are a couple ones that are extremely expensive, so I was really, really excited to check this thing out. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing, and then we will check out all the components that it comes with. And then we're going to be comparing this to the Bissell Spot Clean Pro or the Pet Pro, which I actually have over here. We're gonna be comparing the size, features, all that kind of good stuff to see which one is the right choice for you. Alrighty guys, so as I'm unboxing this thing, I'm gonna let you know there's 3 features or 3 modes to this thing that are awesome and what makes this thing so different than all the rest. Number 1 is going to be, you can do a full-on normal water extraction. Then you can do a water/steam selection or pure steam, all while being able to extract and vacuum out any residual moisture left behind. So right off the bat, while we're opening up, we have your little instruction manual. Everything's packaged super nicely. Here is your first extraction wand piece. Now this is a 5-inch, I believe, or 4 or 5-inch extractor head, so a little bit bigger. For those of you working on cars and with your car detailing business or just wanting to get into tight spots, this isn't as ideal as the Bissell Spot Clean Pro that has a 3-inch. So keep that in mind. However, this still is totally fine. On my professional extractors, they're about this width, maybe slightly less, but really this is totally doable. Additionally though, you do also get this guy here. So let me go ahead and pop this open for you. And this is a little crevice tool. As you can see, it's nice and narrow. So again, not like full-blown crevice. You can't get, if you're working on a car, you can't get in between the seats or anything. But if you're working in your home, couch cushions and things like that, getting in there, or tight spots within a staircase, this thing could be very, very useful. A cool thing about it is it does have different textures of brush bristle here. So you have the gray ones on the outside, a little bit softer, and then you have some harder black ones in the middle, just to give you that difference and be able to create some different agitation modes for you. Now, as always with all these little spot cleaners, it does come with an oxy cleaner. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and pull the unit out, and that is it. That is our unboxing. Very, very simple. You get the unit itself, you get the 2 heads, and the little bottle of OxiClean. So here it is, guys. As you can tell, they went with a little more hard-edged design compared to the Bissell Spot Clean Pro, and I really like it. I think it looks super, super good. Very similar design here where you lift that up and this part pops out. Obviously one of these is going to be for your clean water solution. The other side is going to be the reclamation side. So same thing here. And then cord storage and all that is really nice. It goes right along the bottom here. So I like that a lot. Now I've had some other ones that did this. Let's just check this out, because the other ones that I've tested that had a storage solution like this, the cord would actually fall off the front. It was specifically the Heart branded one. So let's see here. Because this one snaps in multiple places, it seems like it's not going to be as much of an issue. So let's just do that, and then we'll just kind of play with it and see. I mean, yeah, they put a nice lip on it here. So, like, it's not coming off at all. The other one didn't have a lip that I was talking about and it would slide off. This one does not have that issue. Looks like we have a little bit of storage here. I don't know okay, there you go. So I guess all I'm seeing is one storage piece. So I guess you could actually store the other one on there and then just like that, or vice versa. So right on top here, you have this sort of nice kind of brass copper colored selector here. And there you go. So that's just off. I guess, is that off? Let me plug this thing in and actually check. Let's see here, we're gonna go and plug it in. Okay, yeah, so off. And those are your 3 modes. So again, steam is ready in about 30 seconds, it says, which is insane if that's the case. This little light should indicate that once it's ready. We have the full water, the mixture, and then full steam. All right, guys, now I went ahead and pulled out a Bissell Spot Clean Pro. This is the Pet Pro. Comes with a couple of different additional attachments. Like I said, you do get that little 3-inch wand, which is really, really nice. You also get this thing. And now, perfectly honest with you, I've never used this. They call it a stain trapper, so I guess a lot of it gets left in there and you can just remove it and dump it out. Never used it. Cool concept. However, that seems like it would kind of get in the way, at least in tight spaces. So again, I've never used it, so I can't really speak to that. And then it also comes with 2 bottles of Oxy Urine Eliminator. But the real reason for pulling this thing out is to compare the size of these two machines. Very similar footprint. This one is slightly bigger. It looks like the tank capacities are larger. So as you can see, this one is considerably bigger. However, guys, and very, very important to note is that because this one is a steamer, here's the other side of the tanks too. So definitely bigger on the Spot Pro. However, back to this one, the reason you actually don't need as much of a tank is because if you're using steam, you're not going to be putting out as much, you're going to use the water slower than you would with that one. So I don't have any issue with that. Let's go ahead and touch on some of the actual, basic points of these two machines. Now, one of the main differences is on the Spot Pro, you do have the on-off button, which is nice. On this one, it's just on a dial. So depending on what selector you want to go with, that's where it's going to be. Now, some of the other differences are going to be the actual cord length. So your power cord. On the new Hydrosteam, you're going to be getting 15 feet of cord. And on the Bissell Spot Clean Pro, now again, that's a slight variation to this one, but on the Spot Clean Pro, you're getting a 22-foot cord. As far as the hose goes, both of these are going to be 5-foot hoses, and they seem to be the exact same quality of hose. No issue there. Both of these machines are going to be coming in at just about 13 pounds. And then as far as water capacity goes, again, this one is bigger at 94 ounces versus this one is coming in at 64 ounces. Okay, now let's go ahead and put the Bissell Spot Clean Pro Pet away, and then we'll fire this thing up. Now, one of the things to note is with a steam machine, because it has a heating element and you want to deal with that and take care of that, you are preferably going to want to use either deionized water or distilled water, something that's not going to have any minerals built up in that because it will clog up the system on this over time. You can always use a descaler and things like that, but just ideally you'd be using spot-free, like deionized or distilled water. Now here's a pro tip for you guys. Whenever I use an extractor, whether it be one of these small machines or one of my professional grade extractors that I have for my car detailing business, it's the same across the board. You can add solution to these, and that's great. I don't do it personally. What I do is I pre-treat the stained area with like a spray bottle and the chemical. Pre-treat it, agitate it, and then I'm exclusively using this to suck away and rinse out that stain and rinse out the chemical. So I don't run any chemical through this personally. I'm just gonna add water. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna take this thing out. We're gonna add, it's nice because they do have some markings here. So it shows small area, water line to there, and then chemical up to there, versus large area, water there, chemical up to there. So you have your dilution markings right on the bottle, which is super nice. Alrighty guys, so I have my water here now, right? I just went to the small area markings, no need to fill the whole thing up, but I'm excited to see if it's accurate in saying that it's 30 seconds to steam, because that's very, very fast. With the traditional steam cleaner, it's considerably longer than that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and unwind the hose. One other thing to note, guys, is the shorter cord length on this machine isn't a big deal to me. I personally, I'm usually running an extension cord to it. 15 feet's fine, it's nothing crazy. But for me, if I'm running an extension cord to it, it could be a 1-foot cord. I don't care because I'm using a 25 or 50-foot extension cord. One thing to note though is because it does have a heating element, I would use a stronger or a higher quality extension cord. Don't just use a super cheap one. I would go at least like 14, maybe 12 gauge 3-pronger extension cord, just because you're gonna get the most transfer of power through that, and so that it can operate at its full capacity. Well, here we go. So the head unit is on. As you can see here, the steam is actually to come out from right under here. And there are actually 2 heads, as you can see. So I'm assuming one of them is going to be steam, the other one is going to be just the water injection. And then obviously when you want to do both of those will be firing. Now it looks to me like the one on the right here is going to be the steam side. And it's not brass or anything like that, it's just plastic. So I'm not expecting this thing to heat up that much, even though in order to get to a certain point you have to have of steam, you do have to have enough heat to do it. But we're gonna go ahead and switch it on just to the steam function right now and check that out and see how long it takes. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and set up a timer and bring you guys in a little bit closer, just so we can see exactly how long it takes for the steam to produce. Alrighty guys, so what we're gonna be looking for is this little light here to turn red, I'm assuming, or maybe red and then turn green. But let's go ahead and get a stopwatch ready. All right, and I'm gonna switch it all the way over to steam, and here we go. So the vacuum right away fires on. Not a ton of suction here, guys, nothing crazy. Again, you can see these 3 slots here. So it's not a ton of suction power, but again, because it's steam, we're not gonna be introducing that much water, so we should be good to go. All right, we're coming up 25, oh, there we go, 25 seconds, it says it's ready. Okay, now I'm assuming this is gonna spit some water out first. Let's go ahead and see. Yep, spit, whoa, geez, all the way across the room. And then it fires up. Well, not quite. Come on, little buddy. Spitting across the room again, it's trying. That feels warm, like a good amount of heat to it. So it's gonna keep working it until it's all the way ready. That's incredible, guys. It's not, I take that back. My hand about 6 inches away, I can stand it for a little bit, but it heats up quite quickly on my hand. So at that actual contact point right here, it's gonna be a good amount of heat. Now each time you pull the trigger, it seems like you have to let it kind of build up. Yeah, let's see. Here it comes again. Here it comes, building pressure, getting much better. All right, now, really quickly, I want to switch it over to just water. I'll let it go there, and here comes the water. So again, not a powerful stream of water. You want to use it just to kind of really rinse away the stain. Let me feel if this is hot or if this is just, nope. I was thinking that the water injection might be heated. It is not. So that's a little bit of a bummer. That would have been a really cool little bonus. But again, because you do have the option of going water and steam at the same time, that'll introduce more water and also the heat. So you should be good with that. Let's see here. This is on both now. I'm waiting for the steam to kick in. There you go. So we got water spitting out and the steam. So that definitely heats it up, and again, we'll rinse it away faster. So I'm gonna go back to steam. And guys, I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised. The suction power, again, isn't crazy, but I'm okay with that because of the steam function. One of the downsides of the Bissell Spot Clean Pro is that it does inject a decent amount of water and not suck out a ton. So you do leave your seats pretty saturated, or your carpets or whatever else. So you just wanna make sure you go over it multiple times to just suck everything out. With this one, if you're just using the steam function, you're not gonna have that issue because the steam is, there's moisture to it, but it's pretty dry. All right, guys, so I guess the last thing to do is test this thing out on a rug and possibly on my truck. My truck has some dirty area on the seat, and then possibly in my house, we may hit a little area rug. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, guys, so we have 2 areas that I'm concerned with in here. This side is actually a completely different material than the rest of the seat. This got worn down just from getting in and out. So I had someone rewrap it really quickly. As you can see, I didn't even replace the foam. I just kind of got it going as good as I could. But there's definite staining right through here. If you can't see that, I will grab my phone so I can record that a little bit better. And then also over here on this side, this stuff is just built up and there's some staining over here as well. So that's what we're gonna test. Alrighty guys, so as promised, here's the recording on my phone. So you can see the staining here. It's gonna be difficult because this, this material is worn down as well, but there is all the staining. And then here's the other spot over here. This has been here for quite some time, so let's see what we can do. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-treat the area and start from there. Okay guys, to be fair, I'm actually going to use the solution that they sent, or that comes with the machine. I apologize if it's loud. I have the machine down here. I don't want to turn it off because I don't want the steam to go away. But I just poured it into here, into this bottle. I'm gonna spray it on, right? Let it dwell a little bit. Okay. Let me get it out of the way a little bit here. Let it dwell a little bit, and then I'm going to agitate it with a little brush. So we're gonna let it dwell for a little bit longer. Go ahead and go in with the spot treatment here and agitate. And I can see dirt and stuff coming up already, guys. The seat's dirty. Again, this is my work truck. So, yeah, it's a little dirtier than I would like to admit. Okay, so we went ahead and pre-treated that stain. And as you can see, it's looking, wet and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the trigger of this, spray away, make sure that I get my steam going. Here it comes. Wait for it to build up. There we go. Okay, and because every time I let go of the trigger, well, now that it's built up, it looks like it's okay. But I was gonna say, I would probably just keep it pulled so that I don't lose out on any of the steam. But here we go. There we go, guys, sucking up some dirt and grime there. Not a lot, right? Because there's not a lot of water going into this. So it's really nice though, because it's gonna give me the chance to sanitize as I'm working. So I'll just show you guys here. For me, the hose is a little bit short, guys. I would much prefer a little bit longer of a hose, but beggars can't be choosers. This is a great value for a steaming extractor. So we'll just run with it and see what kind of results we can get. It's nice too, you do have the brushes on this, so it does create some sort of agitation there as well. And then you're simply rinsing away after that. So it is cool. The steam, however, see if I can, you can see this, guys, it does not go across the whole pattern. So you have to keep that in mind. You're gonna be injecting steam and you're not gonna be vacuuming or extracting that whole way across the board. So you're gonna have to make a few multiple passes. Now, when you have just the water going, then that's a different case. It does spread out and do a nice fan. Alrighty. That's looking pretty good. Again, the suction feels fine. The area is definitely wet still, for sure. But that's mostly from pre-treating the area with the chemical, because I saturated it pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a microfiber towel now and just mop that up really quickly, just to help absorb any of the excess water as well. Still getting some dirt out of that, so we can definitely keep extracting. Guys, I apologize, I started filming this and it's already dark outside, so it's not the perfect ideal situation, but I think we'll get a good idea. All right, so that's done, and it is looking like, I mean, obviously you can see this wet drip here. That's just from extracting over the side, or injecting water over the side. I'm not worried about getting all this right now, especially if you're working in your house. This isn't going to be a concern. But let me go ahead and grab my phone and show you guys the result here. All right, so there you are. The stain is gone. It's all blended out. Now, to be fair, the chemical alone can do that. It can blend it out and make it disappear like that. Again, what the purpose of this machine is to rinse that away so you're not leaving a bunch of chemical behind. And I have to say, it looks pretty good, guys. I know this lighting's not the best for it, but you remember that hard stain that was there, and it's gone. All right, guys, so here we are now inside my house. This is an area, this is actually just a little area rug. I apologize, the audio cut out, so I'm doing a voiceover here, but basically what happened was this area is right by my back door. It's a little dining area, and I wanted to test this area to see what I could do. So I'm breaking it down into 4 strips. This strip here is going to be steam only. This strip here, I'm going to agitate, pre-treat, agitate, and then steam. This area, I'm going to do the steam water mix, and then the last area is going to be exclusively the water injection. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do here, guys, like I said, I'm going to pre-treat the area. I'm just gonna spray the product into the fibers of the carpet. We're gonna let that dwell a little bit, as always, and then agitate with a brush. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and get the little extractor ready to go. The problem with this thing is when you do pull the trigger, it does spurt out some water, so I'm just waiting for the steam to build up here. Now that it's good to go, I'm gonna go ahead and start extracting. And as you can see, not a ton is coming up because it is steam. It's a relatively dry steam, which is a good thing. We're not overly saturating the area. You can still see it, dirt and just nasty water kind of getting pulled up from there. You can actually see the steam as well coming up from the sides. So all of that is awesome. I think it's doing a fantastic job. It's gonna go up and down on it, back and forth a couple of times. And as you can see, that section is looking way cleaner than the rest of the carpet. So it definitely did a fantastic job removing a lot of the dirt and soiled contamination in that carpet. Now, moving over to the next spot, I'm just gonna pre-treat the area a little bit with the steam. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start extracting. Again, this area is not pre-treated. This is just purely just using the steam. And as you can see, we are breaking stuff up and we are sucking out dirt. So that's a great, great thing. That's exactly what we want to be doing with our new steam extractor here. So as you can see, guys, that area also looks much better than the rest of it. Not as good as the pre-treated area, that's for sure, but still much, much better than the two areas that we haven't hit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the dual action. This is gonna be the regular injection of water as well as steam mixture. And here we go. Again, completely untreated. You know, no pre-treatment on this area. We're just going in straight with the extractor. So again, you can see it's looking better for sure. I still personally think that the other side looks a little bit better. And I think that's just because this side's looking a little bit darker because it is getting more saturated from the extra water injection. But still, you could see as we were going over, you could see that it was sucking out water and dirt through the little extractor head. So now I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the area that is just pure water. Now sucking through, and you can see, again, same deal, dirt and just kind of dirty water getting sucked through the head there. And again, same thing as the last spot. It is definitely getting cleaner, but I think this spot sort of looks the worst in my opinion. And again, it's just because it is darker than the other areas. The area that I pre-treated and then went straight to steam is by far the best. I'm gonna say the steamed area is second best, and then third and fourth over there. Again, mostly because of the extra saturation. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and treat the whole area, again with the pre-treatment. I will agitate it again with the brush, and then we're just gonna go ahead and use the extractor to see what we can achieve from this. Now for this extraction, I am gonna be using the dual setting. So we're using regular water injection along with the steam to see what kind of results we can get. So here we go, I'm firing up the machine. Pull the trigger, you have to pull the trigger and let it go a little bit. It does want to spit out a bit of water before you really get to the steam. So as you can see there, guys, that's definitely more water I would want, more water coming out than I would initially want if I'm just trying to use the steam. But it is what it is. For the price of this machine, to get that option to have a steaming extractor is fantastic. And as you can see, now that the area has been pre-treated, the chemical has broken down more of the dirt, and you can see all that nastiness getting sucked up through the head of the extractor wand. So it looks really good. Let's talk about this a little bit more. All right, guys, so there you have it. I'm pleasantly surprised with the performance of that little extractor here, the new Hydrosteam. Now, one thing that I didn't test at all, again, it comes with 2 head units. I didn't test a smaller one at all. Let's go ahead and do that really quickly just so we can see how that performs. Now, there is 2 little heads inside of this one, just like with that one. So one is purely water, one is purely steam, and then when you run the combo, it comes out of both. So let's go ahead and put this on here just to get an idea of what we're working with. We can go ahead and fire it on to steam. Wait a little bit of time for it to fire up. Now, as we're waiting for that, I want to just talk to you really quickly about the pluses and minuses of this machine. I think for the price, it's phenomenal. It is a little bit more expensive than the regular Bissell Spot Clean Pro, but I think with that steam feature, it's justified. I think it's really, really cool. Now, the downside of this machine, I would say, is when you are using the steam, if you're working outside and extracting the seats of your car or something like that, it's not a big deal. But when you first go to pull the steam, it does spit out quite a bit of water, and you don't want to get that inside if you're trying to keep it relatively dry, right? So just point it outside, pull the trigger, it'll spurt the water out. Once it switches over to steam, then you can get to work. If you're working inside and working on carpets, a little bit different story, right? You don't want to just spray that water everywhere, so just keep a little bucket with you, spray it into there until it switches over to steam, then you can get to work. All right, we are good to go, guys. It's on the steam setting, and it is all set. And this is what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger and you'll see it spit out. Tons of water, tons of water, tons of water. Now we're moving into the steam. But that was too much water for me. You definitely want to keep a bucket around, like I said, or spray outside of the vehicle. So again, guys, that's not quite steam yet. We're getting there. Let me pull off the trigger. Come out again. There you go. We're steaming. And it's nice warm steam. And the benefit of this one is that this head unit actually feels much more powerful than the other one. You're not, obviously, whoa, geez. Obviously, the opening on this one is just this whole area here, so you're getting more suction through that, versus this one is just these 3 little slots there. So it makes sense that this one's pulling more suction through, right? Or you feel more coming through. And with that said, this little tool here, guys, I think is going to be invaluable for working on strictly upholstery, not so much carpets, but upholstery, where you're working on your sofa. If you have a fabric sofa, you can get into the tight spots really nicely and get everything that you need done. Or the interior of your vehicle, right? The seats and carpets in your vehicle, because it's tighter spots. This little guy is gonna get in there nice and tight, get everything dialed in, even better than, say, the 3-inch attachment tool that comes with the Bissell Spot Clean Pro. So I really like this little attachment. Again, pricing, guys, let's talk about that really quickly. The Bissell Spot Clean Pro comes in around $165, $175. This little guy came in at $220, $229, something like that. So about $50 more. Is that justified? I would say yes, for sure, because of that steam feature. I think it's really cool. Obviously, the heating element to create a steam like that, it costs money. So I think it's justified. If you're looking between these two options, I really, really like this one. I think that the larger capacity of the Bissell Spot Clean Pro is nice, especially if you're really just trying to saturate the seat and actually, or saturate the stain and get it all and remove it. Versus this one, because you do have a less capacity, you'll have to stop and refill more. But with this one, you do have the option to be able to steam it, and I think that's invaluable. I really, really like this little machine. Again, the couple downfalls with that water spurting out so much, a little bit of a headache, but I think for at that $200-ish price point, there's nothing else that can do that. So to have the steam and suction at the same time, really, really cool. So guys, as always, I will have all of this stuff linked down in the description for you so you can just go pick it up easily. Again, this thing is brand new. They will be selling it in store. Target is supposedly gonna have it. Best Buy is supposedly gonna have it. I checked all my local stores. They said 1 in stock. I tried to order it and it was out of stock. So I had to order it on Amazon. I'm sure those stores will be getting them in here and there, but it's always easy just to order on Amazon. And I will have that link down in the description for you guys. So that's it. Final thoughts. I like it. I think it's a good little unit. Bissell always, for these entry-level DIY home use extractors, they're fantastic. And this one with the steam is, I'm actually shocked that they did that. The other alternatives are way more expensive. So this is a great starting point. So again, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please make sure to like the video. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.